Lee Chong-soo used to work in the police, but a few years ago his boss Kang Hyun introduced him to the Korean mafia. Jong Song quickly rose through the ranks, and at one point became close to one of his superiors, Jong Chun. Ja Sang had to kill and cheat to achieve this position. He didn't like this whole game with squids at all. While Chun was in China, he dealt with an alleged informant. The man was tortured for a long time, and then he was filled with concrete, pushed into a barrel, and thrown into the sea. Only a few people knew that Lee Ja-sung was a police officer, including Kang Hyun, and the boss blackmailed him with this when Ja-sung tried to jump. However, he also promised that he would send Lee abroad when he completed the task. For this reason alone, Lee continued to work. Meanwhile, the main boss of their criminal organization, the chairman of the Gold Moon Corporation, was returning from his mistress and was hit by a truck. This did not happen by accident, but no one began to understand what happened. He was taken to the hospital, where all members of the criminal group gathered. However, it was not possible to save the chairman. Because of this incident, Jong Chun returned to Korea. He and Ja-sun remained close friends. Jong Chun is applying for the position of chairman and must be in the country while the appointment is decided. Besides him, two more applied for this post. One of them, Jong Soo-chi, could not be considered since no clan supported him, but the second one was worth considering. Lee Young-ju was cunning and had impressive support. He and Jong Chun did not like each other, and the death of the chairman further strained their relationship. The police came to the big boss's funeral to take some photographs. Young-ju didn't like this, and he went to deal with the law enforcement officers. Kang Hyun stood up for his people. He was not shy and could easily outshine any mafia leader. Back at police headquarters, Kang takes part in the interrogation. The authorities decided to bring their own man to power in the Gold Moon Corporation. They chose as their candidate the calm Jong Soo-ki, whom no one considered a threat. But to get to the top, you will have to face and destroy the two main contenders, Jeonju and Jong Chong. And Kang Han will do it. He used all his connections, including police officers embedded in the mafia. Besides Ja-sun, there are several other people working there. One of them is Sun's chess teacher. They know about each other's true situation. Through her, Sun passes information to the police. When Chairman Gold Moon was laid to rest, the corporation's board of directors began preparations to elect his successor. New feuds broke out between Jong-ju and Jong Chong. As Chun and his men walked toward the car, June almost hit him. "Oh, did I scare you? Well, did you cheer me up?" Ja-sung stood between the boss and the car to protect his friend. But there was no need for this. Young-ju just decided to make a joke. He understood that he would be appointed to the position of chairman and did not consider Jong Chun a rival. But it was still worth mastering. Meanwhile, Chan Sung was constantly on edge. The change in the management of the corporation, the possible war between the clans, and the unreasonable orders of Kang Hyun irritated him. In addition, his wife was expecting a child, and he could no longer remain in the mafia organization. He wanted to leave here as quickly as possible and go abroad. At the same time, he doubted that he was generally valued by the police. Ja-sung made it clear that he would be left to his own devices as soon as possible. Jong Chong was about to fly to China on business, but was stopped at the airport by Kan Young's people. Kan wanted to talk to Chun and bait a rival for the chairmanship. He showed dirt on Young-ju and offered to support the police when they arrest Ju. Chun hasn't responded yet. He ordered his lawyer to find information about Kan Jong. He also wants information about all the police rats in their organization. As Chun flies away, Kang arrests Young-ju. At the same time, he hinted that Chun handed the bandit over to the police. "Oh, well, I don't know. Who could it be?" At the same time, Jong Chong is negotiating the arrival of bandits called the Yanbai Wanderers in Korea. You'll need them for dirty work. In the meantime, while tectonic changes were taking place in the corporation, Ja's son and his wife visited the clinic to look at the ultrasound of their unborn child. He was still confident that he and his wife would soon leave the country and start a new life. Arriving home, Chun first went to see Ju. He said the cops had enough incriminating evidence to put him in jail. However, he believes that Chun set him up. Jong Chun vowed to get to the bottom of this and find police informants. He met Khan and offered him a bribe. In exchange for an impressive sum, Kang Hyun had to abandon the investigation and take the side of the mafia. But he refused the money. He had his own plan for their entire gang. After this meeting, Jong Chun receives information about Kang. His personal file also contained information about police officers embedded in the corporation. One of them is Ja-sun's right-hand man. There was information about San himself, but Chun still didn't touch it. They had been friends for many years, and Jong Chong was not ready to kill his friend. The first thing Chun does is send out the rogue yin bike, Ju Kong. She manages to inform Ken that she has been exposed, and then kills one of the wanderers. But they still manage to catch her. They beat the woman and take her to a warehouse. Ja-sun comes here on orders from his boss. He already guesses that something bad has happened. Chun tells him that he found the undercover cops. He introduces Ju Kyung to his friend and subsequently kills Ja-sung's partner. He was also a policeman. Chun then allows Yanbek's tramps to have fun with the woman, but Sun kills her. Before he pulls the trigger, he looks at her for permission, and Kong gives the green light. The bodies are then filled with concrete and thrown into the sea. Kong meets with Young Ju to outline the state of affairs at the corporation. A new council meeting will be announced soon, at which a chairman will be elected. It will be Chun, because there are no other candidates right now. Kong presents photographs of himself talking to Chun and claims that he is an informant. Ju believes this and orders his men to kill Chun. Kong then moves toward Jason. He asks him to support the new candidate for the post of chairman. It will be Jang Soo-ki. He made a deal with the police to gain power. After taking the top position in the corporation, he will also promote Jason. He will then move on to provide information about the bandits to Kanu. San is not happy about this prospect, but otherwise he will be left without police protection. After all, only 2 people on the police force know he's a cop. Moreover, Kong reveals that Chun knew about it too. This means that the son is in danger. He could have been killed at any moment. However, if Kong's plan works, Sam will escape death. He has already set Ju and Chun against each other, and now the latter must be killed. He is actually being attacked. This is what happens in the garage. Chun and his men begin to be beaten. The boss manages to escape and is taken in by security. But in the elevator, he meets new killers. He manages to repel the attack. But at the same time, Chun receives extremely serious injuries. He was taken to the hospital. Before this attack, Chun hid Ja-sung's file in his office safe. Only his lawyer knew that Song was a police officer. When Ja-sung goes to visit his friend in the hospital, Chun states that it's time to choose which side to take. Sun must either become a gangster or return to the police force. Chun also advises to look into his safe, where Ja-sun's personal file is located. Chun dies. At the same time as the attack on Jong Chong, the killers came to deal with Ja-sun's wife. However, a police squad was waiting for them in the woman's apartment. However, Sun's wife became afraid and had a miscarriage. Due to the absence of other candidates for the position of chairman, the board decided to appoint Yang Soo-chi as head of the corporation. He is also supported by Ja-sun and his boys. Preparations for voting begin. After a successful scam, Kong Hyun gets drunk with his boss and asks to be fired when the case is over. He's tired of all this gang warfare and wants to retire. But the boss refuses to accept his resignation. He will never find such an honest and smart policeman. After sobering up, Kong meets with Ja-sung to announce that Young Ju will soon be released. The investigation found that there was insufficient evidence of his guilt, so he was released. After Chun Ja-sung's funeral, he goes to his friend's office and destroys his personal file. In the same safe, he finds Chun's gift, a watch for him and his wife. He puts them on, deciding to connect his life with crime. Meanwhile, Young Ju is released from prison. No one greets him, and Ju realizes that he has become useless to the corporation. He was stripped of power and all privileges. This means that the killers will soon come for him. Feeling empowered, Soo-chi acquired her own thugs. He realizes that his position depends on Kong Hyun. And although this policeman has 2 agents embedded in the corporation, Soo-chi is taking a risk. He decides to eliminate Ja-sun. Then Kong can only rely on him. This way, Soo-chi will strengthen her position in the criminal organization. As Sun gets in his car, the driver breaks out of Ja-sun's custody and drives into town. Armed boys are waiting for him there. Let's get to Mayor. Soo-ki explains to Sun why he decided to kill him, and then orders him to be dealt with. But Sam's ready for this. He protected himself in advance, and his people finished off Soo-chi. At the same time, Junju arrives at his unfinished skyscraper. The killers are already waiting for him here. He asks to be given the opportunity to smoke his last cigarette. Then he is abandoned. The killer will also come for Kong Hyun. He appears at the place where Kong made an appointment with Sun. Hyun is killed, and now Ja-sung doesn't have to worry about being discovered. He becomes the head of the corporation and remembers how it all began. How Kong Hyun sent him to work undercover and how he and Chun began their criminal journey 6 years ago.